have to sneeze. Hey everybody, it's Zach, and welcome back to another video. As you can probably tell by the title, this is very exciting news. I have officially decided upon my next race, and it's been a long time coming. I'm gonna be doing a 50K. I was talking to this guy, he came in, he was looking for some trail shoes, and he's like, yeah, I'm training for this race. And I'm like, where? And he's like, oh, I'm doing a 50K in Raccoon Creek State Park. I'm like, hold up, that's like 30 minutes away from my house. I used to run there a lot when I was in high school. I want to do a 50K. So to make a long story short, there I was officially committing to the race. Now I haven't signed up yet because that's just something I like to procrastinate on, but we're going to do it. It's called the Resilient Service Members Classic. It supports military veterans and current military service members, which is really cool. I think it's like a 20 miler, a 5K, and of course the 50K, which is about 31 miles. Very hilly, very hilly. I'm actually a little bit nervous about that. I'm gonna have to put in some hilly miles if I want to get ready for this. It's so exciting to have a direction again and something to look forward to. And if you guys are excited and want to follow along, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe. Without further ado, I guess we'll start with the first run of the week. Naturally, I started on Monday and I did a double run. So I started off with a 3 miler and I was wearing the Brooks Ghost Max. Nothing too crazy there. And it's kind of funny because during that run, I hadn't gone to work yet. So naturally, I hadn't had the conversation with this dude, so I didn't know about the race. So I was kind of lost there. But then a few hours later, I was good to go. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the race is on November 11th. What's up, everybody? It's another week. I'm just thinking about yesterday when I was finishing up my run. I'm like, it's the last mile of the week. We're almost there. As if that mattered. We're back out here, and I'm actually gonna start the week off with a double. So probably just 3 to 4 miles this morning. Go to work and then hit up the trails again later. 1 mile into this week. Goal for this week is to run 60 miles minimum, maybe top out at 66, 67. Sounds like a good place. My other goals, I'm gonna run all 7 days, do 2 days of core, get a lifting session in. I actually did core last week, crazy, and work a little bit on my stretching. I'm only asking for 2 solid days of stretching. Push-ups again, we failed again last week. Didn't do our push-ups, so trying to get 350, 50 a day. 3 is a good number for this morning. Whew. You're wondering why I'm breaking today up, because normally Monday isn't a double run kind of day for me. I'll be honest with you, I was watching the Steeler game last night with some friends, and I had a little too much fun. I got a cookie cake, and I ate so much. I just ate so much food, and I had a little bit of wine, but it's not mixing too well right now. My legs feel like bricks. Quick little 3 this morning, and could have felt worse. I'll be alright. I will see you in a few hours. While I was at work, I also managed to knock out a really solid stretch, and I whipped out the Theragun because earlier in the week, for whatever reason, my right hip was pretty sore. And on one particular day, I think it was Tuesday, it was like throbbing. So that was no fun. But then I got home and I ran another 7 miles for a grand total of 10 miles. 3 plus 7 equals 10. And for that run, by the way, I wore the ASICS Gel Nimbus 25. Just got back from work and we're back out here on the roads for our second run of the day. Looking to do another 7 or so. Probably gonna get rained on here. It's been looking rather grim all day. I just had to stop for a second because this is a little concerning. Why are there just a bunch of balloons in the middle of the weeds right there? I don't like that. I'm getting out of here. If someone asks if I want candy, I'm running the fuck away. Well. A couple hours ago, I had no idea where this video was going. Now here we are a few hours later, and a lot of information to unpack. But I have decided upon my next race. And if you've been watching my videos the last few weeks, I've expressed my interest in the 50K range right now. I've been wanting to get into ultras for a while, and it's gonna happen. I'm set on it. I'm not gonna think too much about it.
I'm just gonna do it. Oh, it feels so good to say that. Finally have something to look forward to. I've been looking for a way to get into this game for a while, and this is too good of an opportunity to pass up. This time last year, actually, I ran my first 30-mile run, kind of on a whim. So I kind of done an ultra before. 50K is 31 miles, so technically I haven't done that, but I think to run ultras, you have to have a few particular traits, and I feel as though I have them all. For instance, I'm pretty stupid. I do a lot of idiotic things from time to time, and I'm a little mentally unwell. It's all a recipe for success in this sport. Another 7 miles, 10 on the day. Not a bad start to the week. Even though I stretched and like massaged and all that stuff today, I just felt rough. Felt like my joints were really sore.
On Tuesday, as I'm sure you can remember what I said a few seconds ago, my right hip was really bothering me. I just felt this sharp pain in it, and I got over it the next day, but it wasn't just that. That morning, I don't know what it was. I think just days like that happen no matter what. They'll just hit you at random times, and I felt horrific. I felt horrible. I couldn't, if somebody would have passed me, I don't care who it was, I don't care if it was an 8-year-old kid, flew past me, I wouldn't have been able to do anything to respond. I would have gotten my ass kicked. I just had to swallow my pride that morning and just go until I was done. For this run, I wore the Asics Gel Nimbus, and honestly, I think it's time to retire these. I think that's the last run I'll do in these.
2 miles into what I can tell is going to be a jog fest today. Normally I can run a few miles, feel bad, and then kind of warm up and feel good. I can tell it's not going to be like that. This is a run in the bottom 10% that you just can't control. You just never feel good. Legs are shot, breathing heavy, a lot heavier than I should be. It feels like I'm coming down extra hard on my quads too. And to make matters worse, it smells like absolute sewage right now. Oh my god. Halfway through this suffer fest. Just gotta make it through 4 more miles. This sucks. Oh my god, it's not getting any easier. I'm in gang territory right now. Yo, what's up, dog? We're in our last mile here, mile 7. And the only thing that's getting me through this, honestly, is the fact that I have a race picked out. Finally have direction again. I may or may not have complained the entire run. That was brutal, man. Wow. 8 miles though, so happy I did it though. I've got work, and the week will continue as it always does.
And like on Monday, I squeaked in another stretch, really solid stretch, and more Theragun stuff, just really dug into it. Wednesday was boring. Went out for 7 easy ones with the New Balance More V4s, S-tier shoe. I still felt pretty bad this day, but in comparison to Tuesday, it was a big improvement. Towards the end of the run, I started to open up a little bit and was landing a bit more on my forefoot to midfoot, and that's always a good sign. Most days that typically happens. It takes me a few miles to really get into it.
What's up, guys? It's Wednesday. Getting some more miles in, believe it or not. Look at that tree. It's red. Still don't feel great today, but feel a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was like one of the worst days I've had in a while. All this stretching, I think, the last 2 days is opening up my body. That could be it. Maybe my body's like, whoa, I'm not supposed to feel this loose. What the fuck? I don't have to go into work until later today, so in the meantime, I've got so much to do. I'm gonna finish up this run, and then I gotta work on the haunted house with Sam for a couple hours. We're gonna try and get up the rest of the structure. Coming along nicely. I also have videos I have to edit. Gotta prepare for other ones that I'm gonna be filming this week. I am a busy boy. First mile of the day. And you remember that talk, I think in the last video, maybe 2 videos ago, where I talked about spreading yourself too thin and how you shouldn't do it because nothing gets accomplished. I think I'm starting to do that a little bit. Don't worry, the videos are still coming. I'm locked in. I've noticed that I'm starting to habitually run in the morning with little to no thought. That was a thing that was plaguing me for a while. waiting until late in the day, and then skipping a lot of runs because of it, just because I kind of made it like a demand within me to start doing it again, and got a few days in a row by force. Now it's starting to become a daily part of my life again. And by running earlier in the morning, like I've always preached, it creates like this snowball effect, and I'm more productive throughout the day because of it. Just turned around to 3.5. Feeling okay. Unlike yesterday, I feel like I'm opening up a little bit, running a bit more on my forefoot. A funny story about yesterday though. So I get home from work, and basically an hour later I go to take a shower. It's time to settle down for the night. I'm over it. Water's on. I'm ready to step in. And I realize I haven't done my push-ups yet. So I can't quit on a Tuesday. Imagine me there, butt ass naked, on the cold floor, doing push-ups. Wasn't a sight to behold. Every time I came down, it was extra cold. Yeah, how's that for a picture? Felt like myself today. 7 miles. I think that puts us at 25 for the week.
Thursday was one of the weirdest days I've had in a while. I don't know why I did this. I forget what I was doing in the morning. I think I was pretty busy, so I didn't exactly have time to run. And I went to work. I remember it was a really slow day. It was a really slow day. I was just thinking to myself, oh God, I don't want to do this after I get home. I'm like, what if I just slipped in some miles on the treadmill? No one would know about it. But I can't do it all continuous, right? I gotta kind of keep an eye out on things. So I had this miraculous idea. I'm gonna do 4 to 5 miles, however many I could squeak out. I only managed to do 4. I'm gonna try out a bunch of different shoes. Every mile, I'm gonna switch out into a different pair. So I started out with the Saucony Triumph 21s, max cushion shoe, and then I dropped all the way down to an Ultra Lone Peak, which was so weird. I've never really run a full mile in those shoes, so that was interesting. And then I went back up to the Mizuno Wave Sky, just their max cushion shoe. And then I went to the Mizuno Wave Rider, which is just like the little brother of the Sky. It was kind of embarrassing though, because I didn't have the clothes I needed for this, so I ran in sweatpants. Yeah, it was very hot. Because of my shenanigans on Thursday, I had to do medium long on Friday. That wasn't very kind to my future self. I went out and did 12 miles in the Brooks Hyperion Maxes, but all in all, it was a pretty solid run. Felt horrible at the beginning, had like a side stitch in the first mile, and then once again started to open up towards the end. I hate when I do that though, because it pretty much always means that I'm gonna have to backload the week. Monday through Thursday I managed 29 miles total, and I finished the week with 66 miles, so do the math for the last 3 days. That's a lot of miles. That's not always the most fun thing to do.
Woo! It is Friday and we're doing medium long. Yeah, I know we were supposed to do it yesterday, but shit happens. Not even 2 miles in, I already have a side stitch. Ah, there's 2 miles. I'm gonna try my best not to be too negative on this run. And we got 10 miles to go. I'm being negative. I'm being 6 miles. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, but I'm just happy we made it this far, honestly. The weather has been nice, but I can feel it heating up considerably, especially in the last 2 miles or so. I'm over the cramp. I saw a couple people that I knew from softball walking their little puppy, the little golden retriever, and ever since then I've kind of picked it up. You know, puppies, dogs in general just radiate, it's magic. They radiate this energy that science just can't explain. I just felt good. I felt good ever since. Well, the puppy magic has worn off. It lasted me a good bit, but I feel like shit again. Do not feel good, but we've got about 3 miles to go. Less than a 5K. I want water. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was looking at my training from this time last year and just comparing it. I was doing some serious mileage already. And that was before I really got into the swing of things for the marathon. It was consistently in the 70s. And then a couple weeks from now, I'd be hitting 90. October 9th will actually be the 1-year anniversary. I just went out and did a 30-mile run. So So I guess technically that's an ultra. Anything above a marathon, right? Speaking of my first official ultra this year, in November, I don't know how to train for it. I have to start doing some research. I'm kind of a lost puppy. What I'm doing right now, it's got to be beneficial for sure. I'm sure I can up the tempo and the mileage a little bit.
Made it through 12, and I think that's 41 on the week. That one beat me up. And then later in the day, I went and did core. Holy crap. You might be thinking to yourself, can Zach really keep this up? He's got good momentum here. Is he gonna finish strong? You'll just have to wait and see. On Saturday, I had another double run, so naturally I started the day with the easier of the two runs, because why would I do it the other way? Did 3 easy miles with the Saucony Peregrine 13s, and actually felt really good. Had a nice little pep in my step. There were a lot of people out on the trail, you know, hyping me up.
Pretty tired right now though. If you've seen my latest vlog, you'll know why. Went to the movies really late last night just to see the new Saw movie. Enjoyed it quite a lot, but now I'm tired for it. I purposely chose the latest showing time because I wanted to feel immersed, okay? It's a horror movie. Can't watch a horror movie at 2 p.m. Mile 1. Halfway. Mile 2.
Little quick 3-miler this morning. I will see you guys in a little bit for run number 2, and we're looking to do a workout. And then later in the day, I set off in the Asics Nova Blast. This must have been a really good day because I did a workout. I did another 8 for a grand total of 11 on the day. I did a 2-mile warm-up, followed by a 4-mile tempo, and then a 2-mile cool down. Because I haven't been working out too much, I kind of have an idea of what kind of shape I'm in, but not really. In fact, I proved that I've been severely underestimating my fitness. I thought, you know, last time I averaged 5:40 pace for a 4-mile tempo. This was like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, all right, that seems like a solid pace to hit. It wasn't. I went out and averaged 5:21 pace, and I'm like, okay, let's go.
Back out here, it's about 2 p.m. It's our second run of the day. 2-mile warm-up. It's heating up, but fortunately 4 miles of tempo effort that's less than 23 minutes, hopefully. I'd like to go about the same pace as I did a couple weeks ago when I did this. I averaged 5:40, so I think that's very much doable. I'm gonna warm up real quick and then we'll just get rolling. Rider. Feel okay. Could feel better, but it'll be over quickly once again. I'm worried I'm gonna get a cramp though, because I always am more prone to cramps the day after doing core. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get it. 4 miles. Okay, don't be mad, but I kind of surprised myself today. I'm in much better shape than I thought I was. Average 5:21. Yeah, it hurt, but my form was, I was smooth the whole time. I didn't feel like I was like pushing to that next level and like really starting to hurt. That's awesome. That's so awesome. It's gonna walk here for a minute and then we're just gonna jog 2 miles back. It was definitely heating up too. I didn't particularly enjoy that. And that 180 turn, because I do the out and back, that hurts so bad every time. You lose so much momentum. I pushed a little bit harder on that last mile too. Let's get started. Because there was a biker that was like right in range and I kind of made it a goal to catch him. I did with like a quarter mile to go. But that felt good. He was probably like, what the fuck? I knew after I hit mile 1, I was not gonna be hitting 5:40 pace. I tried to slow down actually, and it just wasn't working. I will say though, my right shoulder has had this habit recently of just tightening up and almost locking. I wonder if it has to do with the way I sleep, because I sleep on that side. I'm always laying on that right shoulder. That must have been harder than I thought it was, because I feel pretty beat up right now. That cool down was a suffer fest. 11 miles on the day, really solid.
When I got back, like, what is going on with me? I'm turning over a new leaf. I lifted. I did like a full body workout, lightweight, let's be honest. But you know, I was getting a nice little pumping. You know, you think these babies come in naturally? No, you gotta work for something like that. Finally, on Sunday, I closed out the week in glorious fashion with a long run of 14 miles. Took out the Brooks Glycerin 20s.
We are currently 4 miles into this wonderful Sunday morning long run. Only 10 miles to go, but that should put us at 66 for the week, which would be uber solid. Be really happy with that. I'll tell you what, despite that tempo we did in the lift yesterday, we had a busy Saturday. I feel pretty good, although this uphill portion is hurting. I thought this was going to be one hell of a sufferfest. It's alright. It also doesn't hurt that I'm not exactly motivated to be out here right now, but I don't mind it. I'm Switzerland right now. I call this Lantern Fly Bridge. We're in gang territory right now. It's where all of them hang out for whatever reason. Every time I run through here for the last few weeks, I get slapped in the face by at least one. 7 miles. Just trying to keep it nice and comfortable. Definitely starting to feel it a little bit more than I did the opening miles. Biker scared the hell out of me. It came out of nowhere. This part of the trail is normally pretty barren. I'm pretty damn hungry too. Oh man. I haven't eaten anything, as you can probably imagine. Drink some water, but based off of my humble opinion and experience, you can run pretty damn far on an empty stomach. Honestly, in most cases, you can run better on an empty stomach. Obviously, depending on the scenario, the weather, stuff like that, how much work you've done, maybe you had a shift at work beforehand, you know, all in context. I see a lot of influencers on Instagram. They have like 10-course meals for breakfast before they go run. That's not necessary in the slightest. Come on. What I ate before my 5-mile run. I had a 5-mile run slated for 9 a.m. So I woke up at 3 a.m. and had a 12-egg omelet, 6 cups of coffee, 12 flapjacks, a waffle, 2 pounds of bacon, and a glass of orange juice. Don't forget the electrolytes. Then I had some red light therapy, stretched out for 2.5 hours, and then set off. My mornings just typically consist of me rolling out of bed, drinking a glass of water sometimes, and then bitching for the next 20 minutes until I settle in. Is today National Bike Day or something? I've never seen more bikers on the trail in my life. I've almost gotten hit like 10 times. We are 13.1 miles in, less than a mile to go. This is about to taste so good right now. I opened up a little bit after we turned around, and then like the last mile hurt a little bit, but I'm just happy we got that done. 14 miles, 66 on the week.
As we go forward, I'm definitely gonna have to focus on the long run a bit more. 14 is a solid long run, but I think for ultra training, I've got to put more focus on it and kind of up the volume on that specific day. I felt nice, felt smooth. It was a great way to end the day. I got back, went to my friends to go watch the Steeler game, ate a bunch of food, felt horrible after, but you know, it was all worth it in the end. Later in the day, I went and did core. 2 days of core in 1 week? Oh my gosh, if I keep this up, I'm not gonna be able to run anymore. I'm gonna be too massive. I should also mention, because I've been quiet about it, I also did my push-ups every single day. I did it. In fact, I surpassed it. During my lift, I did another 30. So that brings us up to a grand total of 380 push-ups last week. I'll be honest, I actually started to feel a difference. It's not as hard anymore. It's always nice to see progress, but that's the end of our week, 66 miles. It's a great start to our official training for this race, I guess, even though we've been training for kind of a while now. But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, once again, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one. Peace out.